Alright, good luck to both racers, and here we go.
So we'll start off picking up the 3 chests in the throne room. One of them will be a magic key. We don't have any other way to get out unless we happen to pick up some wings in one of the other 2 chests. So we'll burn that key and see what comes from outside. Herb, golden key.
Yeah, the herb is nice just for a little bit of early survival, and the gold might make you want to try to run off and find a town really quick, which could be good or bad depending on if the town's there.
So if I'm remembering my numbers correctly, chromataclysm only got 540, which is not enough for a hand axe, but Elmore had 700 and something, so he could buy hand axe if there's one visible to start.
Right, and it looks like, yeah, Chroma went ahead and saved, so he must be thinking that if he doesn't find a town, he's going to reset.
Nothing visible right away, but you never know, it could be just off screen.
It looks like Tantagal started in a pretty nice area of the world. No desert, or excuse me, no swamps, and pretty close to the river, so the property price is probably pretty high there.
Yeah, quite the view. Nice forested area.
And
unfortunately, there's wolves in the forest.
It's unfortunate for now, but I bet they'll be looking forward to that here in a few levels.
Speaking of levels, seems like both players have hit level 1, or 2. 2, 1, 9, and 2, and a new spell of, heal, and heal more.
Well, you thought level 16, but I guess we got all the heals out of the way right now.
Well then, level 16 return, just to make it interesting.
Yes, the possibility that we might defeat the Dragon Lord, but not have the return spell or wings, and that's always a fun thing to look forward to.
Ah, and we have our first town just to the southwest. And it's Rimmeldar with keys.
That is definitely a good thing to find if you still got that money. That gives you a whole lot of checks you can do right off the bat.
Chroma did miss it. I did see it on the corner of their screen before Elmore found it, but it doesn't seem like he saw it himself.
Oh, and the Magidrakes have a Dragon Lord breath. That's wonderful. That's a great thing to see early on, especially if you're thinking about holding on to money.
Murder bats!
That's alright. They have to have something special about them, you know. You go to Drakey and then you go to Dragon Lord Drakey right off the bat.
So let's see, we have chainmail pick up after the keys. There was no hand axe, so he'll take the club as well.
That's a fairly solid start. Gives you something to work with.
0, 0, 4, 3, and stop spell for level 3.
Yeah, not the best level, but you're gonna get those, I suppose.
Empty Eye does indeed love its skeletons with fire breath as well, and a fighter's ring pickup for Elmore.
It's a nice thing to see. Did he equip it? I didn't see if he did or not.
Angel seems to think so.
Well, I trust Angel's eyes.
I don't think Angel does.
Sorry, that made me think of a song and I had to restrain myself from singing. And it looks like Elmore's going right back into the castle here to get these chests and maybe to check on see what's underneath. Oh, Stones of Sunlight. Cannot fight the Dragon Lord without the stones, so that's a good pickup to find early. One less thing to worry about.
Some gold, some wings, and a curse belt. Enough gold to top up the keys and check the basement. Looks like Chroma found Rimmledar, but hasn't picked up keys yet. Buying the club instead.
He might just be thinking about getting one of them, you know, and then maybe hitting something on the way out. The Rimmledar chest here tends to be a little bit of a trick, I think, more often than not. It's rare that you find something useful. Or maybe he's not getting keys. Interesting.
Uh-oh.
I wonder what he has on his mind here that he would be thinking about not doing that. That's something that's a magnet for me, but maybe that's me being new still, that I would go out of my way to get keys as soon as possible. But he might think he can grind on some of these enemies really quick and just get that money anyway.
Chroma had enough money for 2 keys to start, never did buy one, even though he had enough money for one afterwards. Might be just looking for money so he can grab a full complement.
I couldn't imagine he's going to go too far. It's a pretty slow grind to build up more than 100 or so gold, I think.
Indeed. Now, Chroma has played Vanilla before, and has played a couple of Randomizer runs as well, so knows full well that keys are in Rimmledar. So I'm sure they'll be back for him shortly.
Hey, he doesn't have enough now for 2 keys. Let's see if he goes back. No, he's still going. He has something else in mind, I guess.
Elmore reaches level 3 and gets Stop Spell. Oh, look, return at level 4. Oh, all my thoughts are going out the window.
Well, if you're hoping for something memey and fun, maybe we'll see Hurtmore at 16. Who knows?
That's all I can hope for now. No thanks, Angel. I want this to be a little interesting. But if that's how it works, yeah, level 1 Hurtmore in the next race this afternoon.
Wait, you're in the next race, isn't that right?
Shh.
They're both still just kind of grinding on these early enemies, and it looks like Chroma's figured out a way to take care of the Magidrakies, or at least almost take care of them.
Yep, 20 attack power, not quite enough to take him out one hit, but if you can get through them before they cast Hurtmore, then not too bad. Hurt might take them out in one hit. Yep, and there's always Stop Spell. Oh, but they have Fire Breath and Hurtmore. Right.
Yeah, that is not much you can do about Fire Breath, I think. Not for a long while.
1, 2, 0, and 0 for level 5. Another empty eye level.
Alright, and now he's going off to get the keys. I suppose he just wanted to grind out the rest of his money, or excuse me, the rest of his magic, take the Death Warp, and considering what we know is available, what these keys are going to get him, I don't think it's going to lose him much time, although it was a little risky.
I'll grab a couple keys now and probably head back to the treasury, most likely.
We might try to headbutt a Magidraki or something.
Ooh, the magicians have baby breath.
Yeah, anytime you get those special abilities on the early enemies, you just kind of grind your teeth a little bit. Just, it's not what you want to see, and it just complicates all your early planning just a little bit.
Yep, you just try to run from those enemies then and find the other ones. Really sucks when you had to start grinding on blue slimes for 3 or 4 levels.
Yeah, you pretty much only want to see the blue slimes maybe till level 3, and then they can just disappear forever.
Elmore seems to be getting a little more exploration, and has hurt, has heal. you know, can manage to survive for a little bit unless he finds a stone man.
Yeah, not much you're going to be able to do against one of those. Not even having sleep right now, which at least help you get away.
We've all had at least one of those races, Lorgan. Always sucks, but we've all had one. I remember a race where I didn't see a red slime for 20 minutes, and it was the only thing we could kill.
Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful. That would be a great advertisement for this game.
Yeah, that or what we saw last night. One of our racers took 2 steps outside of Tantagel, found a magician who back attacked him and used fire breath.
Well, that's going to happen at some point during the race. You just get it out of the way right away. Be like, okay, good. Now everything's going to be good from here.
Yep, that's always the hope. Ooh, Magic Drakey's with Healmore as well.
That is definitely an interesting combination, but Elmore is still going after it. Might just know. A little high on those hit points. A little unfortunate.
So sees Chroma has dug Tablet Cave, which was in the basement of Tantagel, and has pulled out the Silver Harp, one of 3 of our needed items.
Another great thing to find early, and bravo to him to navigate Tablet Cave in the dark. That is scary to a whole lot of people who've even played this game for quite a while.
In this game, MP is not a limited resource for the enemies. They can cast as much as they want.
Yeah, there's those endurance fights with the enemies take on a completely different sort of aspect compared to some other games where you might be able to just drain a boss of all their abilities and then pop them. Here, no such luck. I think at this point they're still able to kill some of these like high-end tier or group 1 enemies, but they're probably trying to look for something a little bit better. The attack is still pretty weak though, so there's not a whole lot they can do against the next tier of enemies yet. Hurt definitely helps though if they can find that useful somewhere.
Yep, it's really just now either try to grind some gold or try to get a bit of exploration. You have heal, you have hurt. Healmore is kind of useless right now, really. So a bit of exploration to find something else would be nice.
Right, we found the one town, Rummeldar, and we got what we could out of there for the most part. Although, maybe Chroma, does he have enough money to get anything else, or maybe he's just getting a refresh?
Hasn't found the fighter's ring yet.
Yeah, it's about time to do that, I think. He can still... Oh, he has enough money to get the chainmail and to get some more keys. We'll see if that's what he does.
I did see a magic armor and flame sword there too, so later on if we can get a gold grind. Although, yes, there was a gold grind available. So once we find Mountain or Grave, we can death warp out, get some gold at the treasury, and your strongest sword you can buy, and strongest armor you can buy right next door at home.
Yes, if you find an early gold grind, that's definitely something that would be profitable and good just about in every situation. Especially as we haven't found any of the fancy Erdrick's equipment yet.
Sadly, no silver shield close, so if you do grind for a silver shield, you have to make a decent walk for it, it looks. both runners pretty even on experience. Chroma is just leveling up now to 6. 1, 4, 4, and 2, no spells. And Elmore should be shortly behind.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that a bad level, but it wasn't really noteworthy. That's fine. They just need to keep... They still have enemies they can fight and get to that next level without overstretching themselves too far.
Magicians have heal more as well. Hey, a cave!
Looks like Swamp North, I believe?
Swamp North indeed.
The Swamp Cave, of course, carrying that magical trip to somewhere else in the land, as long as you can get through the various enemies that are there.
Also the current home of our dear princess.
Yeah, I hope she's comfortable there. She might be there for a while.
Yes, until we find out if we need coordinates or not, she'll likely stay there.
Yeah, or until we get some attack power or some hurt more, you know, something to beat one of the 6 guardians. Alright, and nearly simultaneous deaths on screen. Both of them fighting something a little bit beyond their capability and just not able to get away before they bit it.
Yep, one Sherlock level enemy with the Stone Man and one near Sherlock level enemy with the Wraith Knight.
That does seem to be the case a lot, Pepperoni, too, where you just wind up, you go through the Swamp Cave and immediately there's just death right on the other side, and it really discourages early game leveling over there, but maybe that's just me.
The way I look at it is, if you find Swamp, go through it because you never know what's on the other side. It could be a cave with the armor, it could be Garenham, it could be something great, and if you die, oh well, at least you tried.
Right, of that list, I think Garenham would probably be the biggest value result of exiting that place. Because that's
It's
3
really
free
fun.
items. Yeah.
True. It's really fun when you find the Swamp Cave not far from home, you go through it and end up in the basement of Tantagel.
I have not had that experience yet, but that sounds wonderful.
I think we've had a couple of times where you enter the Swamp Cave and you come out less than a screen away from where you went in.
I do recall a seed that I played a couple weeks ago where the entrance and exit were 5 tiles away. And they were both within a few tiles of Tantagel. So basically the king is just being lazy at that point.
Indeed. That kind of layout, though, always makes it fun when you're doing a Cursed Princess seed. Because you can grab the princess right away and get straight back to the castle with very little to worry about.
Alright, the Cursed Princess. I have yet to do any of those fun options, but just to explain that for anyone in chat, that is when you can win by returning the princess and having the princess take a cursed belt from your inventory.
The way you do that, of course, is having your inventory full of cursed belts or anything more expensive, or anything that cannot be taken, such as the Fairy Flute, the Death Necklace, any of your story items.
It's not the easiest thing to do, but it's also not the hardest thing to do. So Chroma looks like he's just going to keep grabbing some money every time he dies here. He's not going to be able to build up to anything in Rimeldar, but it could always be useful later. And Elmore seems to be kind of hitting the same exploration wall right now, just not really getting anywhere and finding some uncomfortable enemies that are just kind of taking care of business.
So they really could do a slow grind here, but it would take so long, it's probably not worth it for Flame Sword or Magic Armor.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing that if you took an early game gamble and it paid off to where you couldn't find any good gear for a long time, but that's a huge risk, I think.
Well, it's probably 5 or 6 minutes in order to grind enough just for one of the items.
Yeah, we see Elmore's fighting those wolves. That's an excellent grind point right now. Chroma seems a little bit less willing to do so.
Yeah, wolves are really what you're looking for right now. Wolves, maybe some Droll Magi's, something a little bit weaker, perhaps. A Spectre would be great.
And now Elmore is one wolf away from a level. He was behind in experience pretty early, but it's still early enough that you can kind of cruise past that and catch up without too much sweat.
Neither one of them really want to explore more at the moment. It's all about the levels.
That seems to be the thing. If you're finding hard enemies everywhere you go, the best thing to do is just sit down and take what you can get.
And here we have level 7. 8 power, 5 speed, 4 hit points, 6 magic, no spells.
The strength should be pretty useful, though. That gives you a little bit of leeway into the next tier of enemies. Like that, and if you had a little bit more hit points, even the rogue scorpion we saw over there is possible, with enough hurts.
Yeah, for sure. Sleep will be extremely useful right now, but hasn't come across it yet.
It's a shame. I love the sleep starts, just to see the utility of that spell, since it's so effective on the early enemies.
Yeah, sleep is one of those great utility spells that you rarely see if you get it late to the game. It's rarely ever used.
Yeah, a lot of times you see people use them on Stone Man, and that's about it. And that's the maybe the furthest of its usefulness, but it has a whole lot more in between.
Chroma, I think, has gone back in the Swamp Cave and found Drakima. They're fairly good for leveling at this point.
Yeah, I have a feeling he's going to try to... No, he's just walking back and forth. He's definitely grinding at this point.
I think when he was grinding the desert down where Elmore is, he was finding more skeletons than wolves, and skeletons have hurt more.
Right, that's not a positive enemy. Now, the wyverns here, if they are heavy on hurt, could be killed, but maybe not with 4 MP. You might be a little low on that.
Yeah, with this amount of strength, you definitely want to use hurt strats on those.
And speaking of fun spells to have early on, hurt when you're not, blowing up on strength is a lot of fun too, because it just makes the battles something you have to think about. Like, when do I use this? What sort of enemy can I fight? It expands the options, but it doesn't overpower you in any particular fashion.
Right. Oh, and Elmore got a taste of the fire breath. Not hurt more. Fire breath. The skeletons have.
Of course, everything has Dragonlord breath.
It wouldn't be a DWR seed if they didn't.
Someday that will actually be a flag, I'm sure.
That would be a flag that never gets used.
Yeah, I say that, and then I think about it, and there's no way whatsoever I would do that.
Sounds like something that maybe High Spirits and Mr. Holmes would race. Or Angel, apparently. Alright, apparently we have an All Hurt More tournament on the go here.
Nice, so you have to memorize this, take screenshots just for future reference.
People play invisible numbers, that they do, and I'm actually one of those people.
Well, invisible numbers sounds fun because you'd be able to figure out a pretty decent amount of it over time. Like there'd be a lot of that, but also not fun in just having to constantly guess at everything.
Yeah, I played a couple of races in one tournament like it, and you can tell by the number of spaces where the number should be, how many characters. So if there's one space, you know that, okay, I gain between 0 and 9 HP, say. If there's 2 spaces, you kind of have to guess. In most cases, you're not going to gain more than, we'll say, 10 in a level anyway. So you can pretty much guess a lot of things, and then once you get to the Dragon Lord and fight it the first time, all your numbers are revealed, at least for your HP and MP. So you go from there, and you know, you can also tell, okay, I'm doing this much damage to this enemy, I should have at least this much attack power.
I think the real challenge, and I'm probably speaking out of turn here, but that would be how to find the coordinates.
So when we raced in that particular tournament, we had the seeds pre-vetted to make sure there was nothing necessary on the coordinates. Could have been a death necklace or something, but nothing we needed to finish the seed. I believe now McGrew has coded it in so that there won't be anything necessary on coordinates, or there will be no coordinates, one or the other, if you do know numbers.
It'd be great if Erdrick's sword was considered not necessary and wound up on the coordinates. So while we're talking about that, Chroma kept going through the swamp cave and eventually found Garanham, which does have the Staff of Rain cave, so that is a required thing, but it doesn't look like he got much out of the chest there.
At the same time, he already had the Silver Harp, so trade it in now, and one less thing to do later on.
Absolutely, it's progress, even if it isn't maybe the progress he was hoping for. You still get the 2 directions, so that's practically free. Thank you, ElmoreStJames. That does reduce the amount of searching you have to do about half, or a quarter, I suppose.
I think I saw Mr. Holmes one day actually did it. And again, you can see how many spaces there are, so if you see 3 spaces, well, that means I think there's 2 digits to the coordinates. So he did actually narrow it down and find something one day, but it took an hour or more.
That is a unique type of fun that I'm not sure that I can fully understand.
Well, not good for a race. Okay for something casual or a challenge play, but definitely no good for a race.
Right. And just to comment again on what's being in chat, I have seen plus 68 hit points once, which was awesome when I was at level 21 when it happened.
Okay, Elmore going for a second or a third maybe trip down through Swamp Cave. Gonna come out on the other side and see what they can find.
And Chroma took the wings back to Tantago. I think he wants some gold. That would be my guess, is that he was so close to a broadsword, he might just decide to grab money and go back. I don't know. And now Elmore has found Garanham, so our exploration is essentially even at this point, once Elmore finishes up, with the exception of Chroma getting the harp. That's the big thing here, which will save him a little bit of time later when you need to turn all that stuff in.
Yep, Elmore still hasn't gotten down through Tablet, apparently, so doesn't have the harp yet. We'll see the cave, just remember where it is for later on.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem once he gets to it, but it does save a little bit of time. But right now, Elmore definitely has a bit of a lead on the experience front, where Chroma seems a little bit adverse to fighting the things that Elmore's been handling pretty steadily.
Chroma's going back through swamp by the look of it.
He got that money again. I think he was interested in getting the broadsword or something because he was so close to it, and sold the cursed belts and was just a little bit short. And it's chasing something, but if he gets it, it won't be. It should be worth it to get that huge increase in attack power at this point, considering they don't have anything overwhelming to deal with the enemies yet.
Looks like fairy water, herb, and a key in the back of Garanham.
Yeah, nothing.
We have another cave.
Alright, yeah, Chroma did go and get the broadsword there, so a little bit of an increase in attack. And oh, Elmore dies funfully guarding the cave, whatever that might be.
So the symbols next to strength and HP indicate that that's the build they're using. So compared to someone who's using a different build, say strength agility, HP MP, something like that, they will have a higher stat bonus near end-game levels. I use strength agility a fair amount, so if I was using strength agility, my strength would be the same as the other racer if they were using strength HP, but in the end, if they had, say, 110 HP, I might only have 100, whereas I would have maybe 90 agility compared to their 80, give or take.
I don't have a lot of experience running in different things, but it seems to me, and chat or Cyber, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that the stat changes are about double in HP and MP what they are in strength and agility.
I'm not sure about double, but there's a boost in endgame, but the other thing is they're lower to start. So if I were to run, again, strength agility versus strength HP, my agility will be lower than the other player to start. It would end up higher at the other end. That does work out sometimes with strength. If you run HP MP, say, then your strength, it could be 1 point higher in the starting level, which may be enough to kill that enemy that you can't kill.
Yeah, it's a lot of strategy with that thought, but I think myself and a lot of other players have just said, well, everybody else picks Z or Z, so let's not do anything crazy.
Right, and in the most cases, strength, well, you need strength to defeat the Dragon Lord. You really need HP in order to be able to survive. The other two, agility and MP, are needed, but not as much. And you can usually go maybe a level earlier if you use strength HP.
Right, and that level could mean a ton, especially if that level is the difference between 19 and 20, because the difference between 13 and 14 is not quite that big.
Right, it could mean an extra 2 or 3 minutes of grinding, so it is more than enough to make up a difference. However, sometimes you get those seeds that have a really, really low agility to the point where you can't run from anyone thinking Sherlock. That extra bit of agility might make the difference. Boost your defense a little bit more, maybe you don't get hit for as much.
Right. And now, just to kind of recap what the runners are doing right now, it looks like Chroma was grinding for a bit. He seems to be trying to explore a little bit. And Elmore looks like he's trying to go back to that cave. He's hit what looks to be, it isn't, but it almost appears to be a spike tile in the forest with red dragons. Be interesting to see if he walks around that square.
You never know, that may be a thing in the future.
The random overworld spike tile. Wow.
I know McGrew was playing with it for a while where you could possibly hit the Dragon Lord in the middle of the map somewhere.
I really not sure I want to see that as a feature, but that could be a fun flag someday. Alright, he made it, and it looks like... Is that the mountain cave? That is the mountain cave.
It is. We have 5 chests here, 1 on the top floor, 4 on the bottom. And Wraith Knights, yay! Gold on top.
Now, the exciting, like, second-tier aspect of Mountain Cave is, 1, you get the 5 chests, but 2, this opens up a very strong gold grind possibility, assuming you can get, I think, 1 more chest.
This should be enough now with the Death Necklace, as long as he remembers which chest the gold is in.
Yes, that's a very important fact, and he has not been going back to it repeatedly like Chroma was for a while, so it's not guaranteed he remembers that. Oh.
Ah, the jerkbirds live.
He had a chance to throw a Healmore out there, and he did not, and that Star Wyvern made him pay for it. But if he knows where the stuff is, which it seems like he does, he should be fine.
Yep, looks like he did it right, so he'll be able to grind some gold now. Likely enough to pick up Magic Armor and Flame Sword. Was there a Silver Shield in Cairnham? I didn't see.
I do not think so. I was looking for it, but I don't remember seeing it there. So he may just be going for, let's see, Flame is 98, Magic Armor is 77, so that's around 32 million, I think.
Yeah, something like that. We don't math here.
That was an interesting mismenu there. To instead of hitting take, cast heal.
I guess you're really tapping A as fast as you can to do it, but yeah. Usually you hit search instead.
We all know that these matches are won and lost in how fast we do the gold grinds.
So definitely not looking for Silver Shield, just picked up enough to get Magic Armor and Flame Sword.
Right, and he still has the rest of Mountain and Grave to go, so if for some reason he finds silver later, he doesn't have to really go out of his way to do another gold grind.
Alright, so now we'll have a little bit of passive healing there, once every 4 steps. You'll get 1 HP back. You have a lot more attack now as well. And I believe you'll take less damage from hurt and hurt more, I believe.
Right. I think the only additional stuff that Erdrick's armor gives is the fire breath defense. I think they have the same hurt and hurt more defense.
Right, you also get better passive healing at 1 HP per step, and you also are immune to stop spell.
Oh yes, the stop spell, which is actually very useful when you find those enemies who just want to pepper you with sleep and other random nonsense.
Oh, and also an extra 4 defense. Thank you, Angel.
Also, it looks better. I just wanted to point that out. It's a lot flashier.
Yeah, fair point.
mean, I've heard that the Dragon Lord is called the best dressed man in the land, so you definitely want to represent on your own end.
Alright, Swamp Tall immunity as well. Dear God, I'm forgetting everything. At least Chad is paying attention.
All right, we got the Scones Cave, and it looks like Elmore... Oh, he's got some free money. Thank you, random old guy, for this free money.
Small gold right there if needed, but with our other one, you probably won't use it. Oh yeah, but that's why Chad is there, so the staff doesn't have to.
I feel like Elmore St. James here just seems to have got a magnet for the red dragons right now, because anytime he seems to go anywhere fun, it's just they show up.
That's what they do.
It looks like both players have settled back into a bit of a grind. I think Chroma's still in the swamp cave, while Elmore is back into his little desert patch east of Tantagel. Excuse me, no, it looks like Chroma is going to take a peek over the mountain cave, maybe. I don't think he's been there yet, though. Oh, he passed on the gold, man. That's bad luck.
Game Boy will be mad.
Well, he has a decent amount of money. Maybe the gold man, you know, sees that and just respects it and takes a step back. It looks like, is Elmore going back to where he was before? No, I think he's doing a little bit of swamp exploration now. Just trying to make sure he isn't missing anything in this area. It looks like we can just see the great moat of Sharlock there, right on the edge of the map. So he found something. He didn't get to quite see the castle, but he saw the walls, so he knows where that is now.
Always good to have that found, so you know where it is. There's nothing worse than endgame having all the stuff you need and having to look for Sherlock.
Right, there's not much fun in that scenario, but just knowing where it is helps a little bit. If you have everything, it's always kind of fun to go in and just see what sort of enemies are there when you don't have a very good grind, at least.
Yeah, the top floor is always a viable spot to grind. Go in, grind a few enemies, come back out. It's happening in a lot of races.
Ouch, and then there's the Dragon Lord skeleton there. Just, again, just stopping these guys from getting too far. The Dragon Lord breath here and there. Lost track a little bit of where Chroma is, and I'm wondering if he knows where he is too. Is he back in the swamp, or did he go all the way into mountain now?
Definitely looks like he's in swamp. Could very well be mountain, but it looks like he has a pretty large vertical path, so it should be swamp. And we have level 9 for Elmore. 1, 4, 14, and 4, no spells.
That is a sad realization here as we're just looking forward. The spells that we're missing are all, with the exception of Hurt More, pretty useful utility stuff to have at this point. So it's a little rough. Chroma must have been in the mountain. He must not have found anything. Apologies that I lost track of what he was doing there in the dark and didn't see what he got. But I think our tracker and Angel told us there wasn't much in there. So, but now he's got the gold grind and getting ready to hit up what's left.
Herb, key, and a dragon scale. Look at it. So Chroma should go up to the same amount, get the flame sword and magic armor. There was no shield available in Rimmledar.
Right. Did I say Rimmledar? I think I kept saying Cole. I'm getting confused about some of the towns. Maybe I didn't even say it.
Cole doesn't exist.
No, we'll find Cole. It'll be on like the other side of Charlock or something, just hidden away, and it'll end up having anything. And poor Elmore just keeps finding hard enemies, just stopping the path, and it's kind of at the point now where it's hard to find enemies to level on. The experience return, like even with wolves, you got to kill about 10 of them to get a level at this point.
Looks like we have Chroma going for the full gold grind, not for the silver shield as well.
I wonder if he knows something, or if he's just, well, it's not even full, is it?
I believe it is. 32.3, yeah, so he's 35 gold above, actually.
Oh, that's right. Plus, I mean, he's going to get some money back when he buys that armor anyway, so... Excuse me. Apologies for messing up the math on my own end.
Again, this is why we don't math on stream.
It's also possible he just forgot what was there and decided to cover all of his bases.
Alright, and there's Flame Sword and Magic Armor for Chroma. So our runners will be on equal ground for equipment for a while.
Alright, we'll just see how far Chroma goes in his quest to get that silver. If it does happen to be in Garanham and we just missed it, then good on him. If not, then he might just kind of run off in a few directions and hope for some good luck.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, we're also 47 minutes into this match, and we've seen Garanham and Rimmledar.
Yeah, on that note, maybe to just kind of recap what we've seen so far. We've seen Rimmledar, like you said, Rimmledar and Garanham. We've seen the stones, which was in the treasury. The harp was in the tablet cave. The ring is in the fighter's ring is in Rimmledar. The staff is in Garanham's basement, and the death necklace was on the first floor of Mountain. And that's it so far. We found no search spots. We found one cursed belt.
So we still need Brackenary, we need Cole, we need Cantlin. Well, don't need, I guess, but the Grave, the Jerk. Still a lot to find.
We don't really need Brackenary, though.
No, you don't need it, but it's nice to find anyway. With all luck, it's outside Charlock. Nice easy heal.
That'd be useful.
We suffer, Angel.
And just for the information of anyone who might not know, the importance of the cursed belts is that they exist as a buffer against search spot location. So if something is not in a search spot, we subtract one of the belts. So there's 3 total possible belts. So every one we find, we know one item has to be in a search spot. And one item out of a group, which of what we have left includes the token, the flute, Erdrick's sword, and Erdrick's armor. So the fact that every time you find one of those items not in a search spot, that's very good because it increases the likelihood that one of the Erdrick's items is not in Charlock.
Well, Elmore finds a town, but also finds a werewolf that has fire breath.
again, he's having good exploration, just stopped by high tier enemies that he can't do a whole lot about.
A town full of werewolves. I bet it's Hoxness.
But Hoxness is just full of peaceful werewolves. It's a very nice town.
I don't go to the same Hoxness that you do. Chroma now hits level 9, has caught up a little bit, only about 200 experience behind.
Yeah, Chroma is getting those wyverns is helping him catch up quite a bit. He's still, again, 9 to 10 can be a little bit tricky. Then the experience really starts to slow down after that, unless you start hitting some higher tier enemies. But wyverns are still pretty good experience. I believe they're 64, so that's nothing to scoff at.
So Chroma has made it back to Garenham with the gold, and there's no shield.
Well, at least he's still rich. Yes, just dual wield flame swords. That's impress the Dragon Lord, even if you can't do more damage, just with the amount of flames that you wield.
Fire versus fire. What can go wrong?
Sounds hot to me. I'm a strong proponent of bamboo poles. We don't see a lot of people bringing those out in these races, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think it's 2 attack power you get for a bamboo pole, so unless you're in a really tight spot, not always worth it.
But at the same time, you get the fighter's ring, you're like, hey, I got the fighter's ring. This is nice.
Yeah, fair point. I guess it's the fighter's ring is on top of your weapon, so no matter what weapon you get, you always have that extra 2.
I have the mental image of somebody with a bamboo pole taping a ring to the end of it.
I mean, if it's spiky, it does extra damage? Sure. Hey, a metal slime!
Instead of fighting the werewolves, he fought a metal slime. But, oh, town and cave. What do we got?
Catlin!
Alright, Shopsville, and he's got the money. Maybe he's oh, there he goes.
Well, bye-bye money. Hello, Silver Shield.
Chroma is now wearing the best equipment that money can buy.
He's heading for his coordinates right away, hoping to find something useful.
He has just enough magic to get out of here. Alright, 41 south and 3 east.
Not sure if that's countable. I don't remember what was south of Tandagel.
Behind Garenham was the Staff Cave. So Chroma was able to get the Staff of Rain. Elmore has yet to find, or to go through the Tablet Cave, which had the harp.
Ooh, level 10 has been reached. I missed the level ups, but no Herpmore.
There was a bunch of hit points, though, so 91 hit points, that's pretty toasty to have at level 10. Definitely makes that heal more a little bit more valuable.
Yeah, 91 hit points, almost to where you needed to be. You want a minimum of 97 in order to fight the Dragon Lord.
say otherwise, the way the stats look so far, MP's lagging a little bit, strength is lagging a little bit, but the way this randomizer works, sometimes you just get a level with 20, 30, 40 points, and then you just know it's time to go. Nice. Chroma found some magic wyverns. I saw Elmore fighting those before too. That is with Healmore, and it looks like they don't have anything fancy as far as their abilities go, are a very useful enemy to be fighting at this point. Oh, and one shot's a demon knight. How about that?
Of course, normally when you see a magic wyvern, you want to hurt more it, unless you have a really high attack, because it's the last enemy in the tier list that will always die to a hurt more.
Yep, and then right afterward, Chroma finds a knight with the L2 breath. So, there you go.
And knights are one of those enemies that have a higher defense, so you never really want to attack them.
Yeah, it's odd because that roll before is kind of filled with like the scorpions, and the rogue scorpion still has a ton of defense, but the knight eclipses some other enemies that are worth more experience above it, and kind of sneaks up onto you about how difficult it can be.
So Chroma's doing his count. Well, Elmore hits back to, or finally finds Caitlin, sorry.
Alright, and the search spot has the sword. So, which again is it's a good thing to find. You know that you have to find the token somewhere. So the more things you can find that are not the token in the search spots, the better it is for you. At least that's the way I see it.
And we have the free stuff cave. Just some gold. And Elmore's now getting the coordinates.
And again, that wasn't too far away, so that was something he was capable of doing without too much stress. I mean, having repelled always helps, but... Oh, and these Demon Knights, without Hurtmore, their value goes up a little bit, since you can't really Hurtmore them very well anyway. So the fact that they might dodge you makes them normally kind of annoying to fight, but if it takes a few less hits than, say, one of the actual, Sherlock enemies, then they're pretty valuable in that regard.
Yeah, they don't have a whole lot of HP, it's just that they can dodge. Hey, we found the jerk.
Right, yeah, I missed that before. So he's just hanging out just east of, what town was that again? Cantlin, excuse me.
Again, good to find him. You can't use his abilities right yet to get the rainbow drop, but it's nice to know where he is so you can run back as soon as you find everything.
Alright, Elmore is meeting up with that metal slime that dodged Chroma earlier, but he's not having any better luck, but he's sticking around for a little bit. So wow, Stoneman must be pretty heavy on the hurt. He just cast Stop Spell, and now he's just kind of whacking at it over and over, and this'll, if he can get through it, it'll get him to 10.
Well, he has heal more, so, like you said, if he wants to keep casting hurt, all the better. Of course, now he decides he wants to attack.
And, you lose track counting the numbers with Stoneman because their hit point range is 102 to 135, so when you're doing right around 20 points of damage with every hit, it can be pretty crazy, but he got it. So he's joining the level 10 club here and actually takes an experience lead for just a moment.
Yeah, 23 hit points there. That's pretty good.
Yep, and Chroma found the grave, so we'll see how far he can get. He doesn't have many resources, but he might be able to clear at least the top 3, and might find something interesting up in there.
Nobody ever wants to dive the bottom to a grave unless you have to. Right now, if you don't find the token up top, I probably would. If you do find the token, I'd maybe skip out and finding the armor until later. But doesn't matter if Red Dragon takes him out.
Yep, unfortunately, he found the fun police who are just hanging out in somebody's grave for some reason.
That's where all the good stuff is.
A good point, Brian Williams. Sometimes you just need a little bit of luck when it comes to running from things. Something, unfortunately, ElmoreStJames hasn't had much of. He just got sent back from a werewolf again. So we still have the 2 search spots left, Cole and Hawksness, which may or may not have anything. I haven't seen if there's another belt yet, but that does not mean anything necessarily. There could be 2 belts inside of Sherlock, and we would never know until we got there.
Right, so the way this works, every search spot that's available takes an item out of a chest, and the game decides to put a cursed belt back in that chest. So if you happen to find the 3 cursed belts before you go into Sherlock, you know that 3 search spots are available. If the cursed belts are in Sherlock, you really can't tell until you get down there, and chances are you're going to need those spots to get down there. So you check them all anyway.
It looks like Elmore is 1 spot off, I think, from the search spot, and now he's kind of going the wrong direction.
So we've seen that Sherlock is fairly easy to get to. We had seen it before, but not in the entrance. Doesn't seem to be blocked, you can go right around it.
Right, another nice seaside Sherlock. So, you can go, swimming on your way there if you feel like it. Or theoretically could. I don't think our hero can do much swimming in their equipment.
No, they'd sink pretty quick. In the randomizer, maybe, base.
Well, if you really think about it, in the vanilla game, it's also right next to the sea. It's just a little swampy. Alright, Chroma is attempting grave dive number 2, completely in the dark again. I haven't seen either runner use a torch yet, which is to their, props to them going through in the dark.
We have an herb. We have a troll. We have the token. And, hey, a torch.
Very valuable torch. If he equips it, then we know he's probably diving the rest of grave.
Okay, Elmore has picked up the sword after a few counts. Or a few random searches.
But what's important is that he got it. Doesn't matter how you get there as long as you get it and you don't have to go back another time.
Indeed.
Magic points is mighty. I think you're looking for level 18 for that one.
So Chroma is diving the grave. Does have all the items they need, but doesn't have the armor. So I'm guessing diving for that?
Yeah, it looks like it has to be what he's chasing. I don't know. I probably would still try this anyway, just because I'm here. And if I die, then I probably just won't come back.
I mean, with the lack of anything else, maybe, you know, it doesn't hurt to dive, but at the same time, knowing that both Cole and Hoxton's Earth are somewhere, I'd take a better assumption that the armor's out there. And the flute as well, so, eh.
Right, if he had seen a couple more belts, I'd be out. Because there's only 2, you know, specialty items left. And there's still 2 search spots. But the fact that you haven't seen any belts might make you think the opposite. Or, well, you've seen 1, excuse me.
Right, but that belt was probably for the sword, so, you know. Of course, both of those items could also be in Sherlock. There's 7 chests down there.
Yeah, it's a lot of guessing, and I think considering the amount of effort he's had to put into getting back here, I think he just wants to do everything he possibly can here, and then reconsider. Oh, and he found the flute.
Okay. So armor is in one of, let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10 spots now.
Yeah, the flute makes it so that the likelihood of the armor in either search spot goes up tremendously. It makes it worth putting extra effort into that, I think. If you didn't see anything, then, you know, it kind of hurts if you have to go to the end of the earth to find... Oh, don't worry. Right, he just took a death from a specter. There's so many enemies just sniping at him in his exploration. This is getting to be a little painful.
Chroma is out of MP and down to 18 HP. He isn't using herbs, so we assume doesn't have any. He needs to get this last chest before he dies. Oh no. And gold.
Well, he found it, so at least he knows. There's no regrets.
So now at level 10, you can't get down through Sherlock yet. You know the armor could be there, but you still have Cole and Hoxton to go. Exploration and grinding while doing so would be my shot here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any scenario yet where you think grind and dive before you try to find those last 2 spots. Unless you just know... Unless you have some other sort of information that makes you really think that it's in the armory.
Yeah, if that last chest had been a cursed belt, you would have known to go for one of the search spots, but right now it's still up in the air.
And it looks like Chroma's checking the spike tile here in Swamp.
Maybe he's figuring grind while he can, look for armor later. Hey, an excellent move on an armored knight.
Yeah, with what he has, this probably isn't the best enemy to see, but it's not a red dragon, which is still a little bit beyond him, I think. Oh, nice! 18, 13, 1, 2, and hurt more. And now that spot becomes a lot better to grind. Right next to the castle, you can throw a few hurt mores at it. You can't get too far with this grind, but it's definitely better than anything else we've seen so far.
Yeah, the play right now, I think, is just to grind and get your stats to the right level and then go for looking for the armor after.
Right, and it seems like he's at least going to finish out this set of magic on this one. Just pegging at this guy.
Elmore right behind him, hits level 11 as well, grabs his hurt more. Good stats. See what he decides to do.
So he's decided to go back into Mountain, which he, I believe, only had the first chest before. So he doesn't have the knowledge that the rest of the chests are not particularly... the rest of the chests are not particularly interesting. That's a very good point. Now that you have hurt more, you can kill the majority of the enemies in the game reasonably without too much effort. So the idea of exploration being prohibited because of that just diminishes. Doesn't do much to help against the red dragons, but there's not much that does outside of just a whole lot of hit points and strength.
Elmore decided to use Hurt More on a Star Wyvern, which can be a one-shot kill. It survived it. It breathed fire on him. He went to attack, missed, and breathed fire again. It looks like he stopped for a second.
Speaking of the discrepancy in luck, it looks like Chroma got the same sleep/hurt more treatment, but managed to get out of it. So he got through that Spectre.
I imagine there was some cursing involved there.
Sometimes you need to take a second to recover from the game.
Definitely makes some sense. You've still got a lot of game to go. Had to figure your opponent's probably around the same area as you, so take your few seconds, get back into it, and try again.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any revelation that might have somebody saying, "Oh crap, I'm behind," which is the unfortunate thing that happens occasionally when you stumble across something nearby that you should have found by now. But also, when you get to around Death 20, you just start to feel a little bit of fatigue about the whole situation.
20 is nothing. Ask Spark over. I think we gave up counting around 100 one time. Or Will Wagner, yeah. Days like those are why the death counter is on the tracker in this game.
Alright, so Chroma has got the drop. You need the drop to get to Charlock, of course.
Looks like Elmore's going to grind on the Armored Knight a bit, get some more levels, maybe some more stats so he can go try the Mountain Cave again. Speaking of levels, 25 power, 5 speed, 22 hit points, and 6 magic on level 12.
Yeah, the stats are starting to catch up a little bit. We're still kind of, the MP is missing in action. But you never know. It just takes one level of a big drop and you're right back there.
So we're 11 attack power short. HP is more than where it needs to be. MP is far below, and agility is agility.
Agility just always depends on what Charlock has to offer. If you find a bunch of weak Charlock enemies, then it doesn't matter so much. If you find a lot of hard ones, then you're gonna be re-diving a few times.
I think both runners here will definitely have a full complement of herbs before they try Sherlock.
We saw a rogue scorpion go down. I think it's the first rogue I've seen anyone actually kill, which I don't think it had anything fancy. We saw Chroma playing with it a little bit earlier, but it was a little too strong for him at the time. And the werewolf dodged twice, and then just Chroma got a little lucky there that it rolled low after 2 dodges, but ow.
Yep. So here we have level 12 for Elmore. He'll get all the decent stats, or at least HP and attack.
Well, I think it's a rule that you get MP or you get hurt more. You don't get both.
Yeah, sounds about right.
we're at the point now where we're just looking for the last couple of spots. I think the only outstanding spots right now are Cole, Hawksness, and Breckenary. Is that correct?
Yes.
Which Cole could have something in its search spot, Hawksness could have something in its search spot, and well, Breckenary is kind of the booby prize.
Well, if the runners don't get any more attack power, you could always go there and buy fairy water. But they also have Caitlin, so they can buy it there anyway.
Yep, sometimes Breckenary is useful. Just doesn't seem like it's going to work out that way this race.
I would imagine those towns probably are in the northeast somewhere, because that seems to be the way the runners haven't gone as much. But it's hard to watch the map when you're looking at everything else.
I'm actually wondering where Chroma's going now. I don't recall seeing anybody go past the mountain cave yet, but I may have lost track of that at some point. Oh, never mind. Nothing down there.
Ragai, thank you very much for the raid.
And werewolves aren't the worst enemy to fight where Chroma is, but I think I would prefer the Armored Knights, especially since they have sleep. Yeah, and they have weak breath, which is probably worse than their attack, but still.
Yeah, right now, Swamp Cave probably is the best grind overall. There's Wyverns in there too, which are easy kills for 764 experience.
Yeah, I always remember in the vanilla game really hating Wyverns. Like, they just killed me all the time, and now you usually want to see them. They're pretty soft.
Something I always forget, they don't have much HP either. So if you have the ability to cast Hurt or something like that, or you can survive a couple of attacks from them, they're great for mid-game.
And they are still sleepable. They're not the best target for that, but that's still within that range. Of course, that doesn't help us in this seed.
Nope, no sleep. Level 13 now for Elmore. We have 2 power, 5 speed, 4 hit points, 3 magic, and repel.
Alright, repel is something that is pretty useful for exploration at this point. That might change ElmoreStJames' plan after this. Probably try to explore a little bit more so he's not getting caught up on every little thing.
Worst is now, and someone pointed it out in chat earlier, Elmore still has to finish diving Mountain Cave. I'm not sure if he's... Actually, I know he hasn't found the grave because he doesn't have token. And the harp is right there at home in the tablet cave and hasn't gone for it yet.
Right, you would hope that he hasn't forgotten about it, but it's possible, considering how long it's been and he's had access to Radiant for quite a while, that could be an issue.
Chroma is now caught up in experience and also has level 13.
Alright, the repel again will be welcome. Oh, and he's found Hawksness. Hello, Hawksness. Both of our runners. Wow.
And Stoneman at that for both of them. Oh no. So Elmore has not found the flute.
Yes, that will be a much welcome find for Chroma, who kind of validates the grave dive that he did.
He does have a lot of HP, unfortunately not a lot of MP. So he will get a few attacks in here, it might not be enough.
Yeah, he has to hope for maybe a crit here.
Oh, he managed to get it.
Alright, GG.
Nothing, oh no.
Well,
there's still coal, maybe.
yeah, there's still coal, and if there's not coal, then at least if you're Chroma, you know where you gotta go.
I would expect now, both of them having found a new area, they'd explore around, see if they can find coal. And like you said, if Chroma goes into coal, doesn't find the armor there, immediately to Sherlock.
Right. Or at least to a grind or something along those lines. Although I don't know, 49 MP is a little bit rough, but he might make it.
Speaking of coal, next door.
Of course, they had to be next door. They had to just be hanging out. And nothing in coal. How about that?
Well, we're gonna have to die for armor. Luckily, they both have magic armor, which is the best you can get right now.
Right, that silver fine for Chroma it's going to carry a whole lot of weight. You might see ElmoreStJames trying to do a gold grind out of grave to get that because the defense is still a little low.
Chroma blocked by the NPC, only for a couple of minutes though, or seconds.
Well, it makes sense. If both towns are going to be off in the middle of nowhere and we're going to last locate them, we might as well not have anything.
Yep, just a troll. Or a droll, whichever.
We might see what he's definitely stocking up on stuff. It looks like he's getting ready for a dive, but in between then, oh yep, he's just straight out. So he's thinking right now either straight to Sherlock. I bet he's gonna go straight to Sherlock.
Yeah, you've got 118 HP, so you can survive a few hits from some things. If you can get down far enough to get your armor, burning your MP on the way down, then just warp back out, go back to your armor knight, level till you're ready, and then head down again.
Yeah, this is kind of risky, but speaking as again a newer player, I would be nervous in this situation, finding that stuff late, how much time I put into finding it, that just maybe I'm quite behind and I need to do something really quick to catch up.
I'd give it at least one go anyway. See what the first couple floors are like.
Right, and it's possible you can find some enemies to kill along the way that aren't going to tax your resources too much.
Wizards would be fine right now. Werewolves, probably. Oh no, they have sleep though.
Yes, this is basically not the sort of greeting that you want when you walk in.
Gonna burn the first Elmore about 10 steps in. Elmore has finally gotten back to the mountain cave. Let's see if he can get through this time.
Yes, our chat is telling us that this is preemptive, and it's certainly looking that way. It's usually not a good idea to hope for good luck. And the amount of resources he's going to expend right now is going to make this look pretty grim.
Oh, I forgot about this. He's going to have to burn a lot of herbs or Elmores trying to get through the first little area.
Alright, guys, the spikes are Golem and Hawksness and AK-47 in Swamp, which is very near to Tantagel, so that's probably where they're going to grind. Neither enemy has anything in particular that makes them scary.
The dreaded Star Wyvern just before the last chest in Mountain.
Sometimes you can sleep on the Star Wyverns, but they're not nothing.
Alright, takes it down this time. Should get his last chest here. All that for a dragon scale.
Well, the wizards seem to be a bit of a positive revelation for Chroma here. He's taken out a few of them. Wizards, short of some crazy abilities, tend to be pretty juicy for the amount of effort they take, just because they're experienced off of having some, crazy spells in vanilla.
Randomania lives indeed, at least for the rest of the year.
And you're home for most of the Dragon Warrior Randomizer tournament matches, or at least a pretty good chunk of them here in the beginning.
A good majority of them, yep. Also a few on RPG Limit Break and possibly some in Speed Gaming as well. But you'll see the majority of them here for sure.
Right, and this is just match 1 of 4 today. We still have a few matches coming up later today. We can get into those later, but I believe the bulk of those will also be here in the Randomania family.
Actually, the 8 p.m. will be on the same channel we are on right now, Randomania. The 10 p.m. will be on Randomania 2, unless the 8 p.m. finishes up early, in which case it will be on Randomania. And the 10:45 will be on RPG Limit Break tonight.
Alright, sounds good. And again, this is match 1 of 4 today. We have 3 more matches tomorrow, and that ends the first round of our Swiss qualifiers.
Yeah, it's been a fun week, a lot of races, and we'll start it all again tomorrow, well, Monday evening.
Alright, it seems like after a really unfortunate start, Chroma's gotten a decent amount of luck here. He's still got to get through 2 floors, and here we go, Red Dragons.
Agility's up there though, so we're able to run a good amount. And I spoke.
Yes, this is still definitely not the enemy you wanted to see. You wanted to keep seeing those wizards. And X-Knights are fun too.
Very much, Angel, very much. Like I said, if this keeps working, well, again, Hurtmore level 1 next race, please. Alright, we have our bottom floor. X-Knight blocking the way, shouldn't be a problem.
He's swinging. I thought he might, Oh, no!
Oh, no! Guess we won't know where the armor is yet.
I was just about to say, I'm not sure if he should be fighting right now, considering it's so close. But it's probably not worth it. And then that happened.
Yeah, should have cast Hurtmore there instead of saving the MP for Healmore.
Right, although I don't think he went back and bought any more herbs, so his healing is probably a little bit worse. But he's going right back at it. He really wants that armor.
Yep, and this will give Elmore a chance to catch up. He just hit level 14 now. Still has to find the token and the harp, though.
Right, and the fact that he has not found the harp yet is worrisome because it is literally in the basement. It takes about 40 steps to get to from death.
Right, but not having found the grave, I think he wants to find that first. Because there's 5 chests in there, right? And unfortunately, that means he's also going to die at full grave.
Right. And it just puts him even with what Chroma did, but considering where they are in exploration right now, that's still quite a ways behind.
Chroma's going to use the opportunity to fight some more wizards, work on level 15. Stats are getting pretty close, again, other than MP, so definitely going to need at least one more level.
Alright, they might get lucky and get some heavy amount of MP this level. I'm gonna guess 2, just because I think whenever you expect it to come, it always takes a little bit longer.
Oh, for sure.
That is a good point, Simple Sarah. If we can just get the attack power to around 255, might not need the MP.
Nope, single hit the Dragon Lord, maybe.
That would be awesome. I would love to see that. But I think right now, let's see, 52 MP, that gives them about 6 rounds of Healmores, and the attack power right now sounds like about 15 rounds on average, so there's still quite a gap.
Yeah, no way you can win like this. Well, I mean, you could try a few Hurtmores, I guess, but very, very slim odds.
I hope for their sanity and for ours that it is nothing in the 20s as far as the level goes, but, you know, that would be a good story. Again, while we have a moment, just to kind of catch up on where things are and how we got here, the stones are in the Tantagal treasury, the harp is in the tablet cave, the ring is in Rimeldar, the staff was in Garanhim's basement, the death necklace was in the first floor of Mountain, the search spot had Erdrick's sword, the token was in the first floor of Grave, and the flute was in what I call the 4th Grave search spot. I don't actually know what floor it is.
Neither do I, but it's most commonly the 4th one that people go to. Speaking of the grave, Elmore has found the grave and will get his token shortly.
He's getting some revenge on those red dragons from before. Yes, Chroma is way behind where he was in his last dive, but as far as resources go. But he's swinging on the reds. He's still looking at that experience.
Elmore doing the same in Grave, swinging on the reds, trying to get some more experience, and also survive to get the token.
And Chroma survives on 1 hit point. But, you know, that's all you need, 1 hit point. That means you're still technically alive. All he has to do is not have any encounters, run from everything, and he's fine, right?
Elmore has picked up his token. Oh no, again!
That is unfortunate.
Let's see if he'll go back for a 3rd dive, or maybe decide to grind instead.
So he's walking in the direction of experience. So maybe he's heeding the wisdom of our elders in chat here.
Seems so. Looks like he's going for the Armor Knight.
Yeah,
at minimum 15, but look at your stats and go from there.
And the only limiting factor here with the grind is that the MP is still pretty low. So you're either using Hurtmore once and swinging a couple times, which is slow, and you're still going to have to heal, or you're getting in, 4 rounds, maybe 5 kills per death cycle.
Yeah, swing Hurtmore is the proper way to do things. Because you're guaranteed to get in if you get to swing first. We have level 15, 4 power, 1 speed, 3 hit points, 1 magic.
Wonderful.
16 it is.
Well, at some point, if he gets a good enough magic boost, he might just decide to take the armor, on the way to fight instead of doing a separate dive.
So Elmore's going for the last chest engraved. Really, after getting the last chest, he wants to do a Death Warp and get the gold for Silver Shield. I'm sure he's seen that there's a Silver Shield around. If not, he has to at least pick up a large shield in Caitlin later on.
He just looked for her outside, so I don't think that was on his mind. Either way, he needs to get a shield at some point. This is, he's been giving up a lot of defense power walking around without one.
Yep, you really don't want to go in with 59 defense.
Although that could be the new thing, the no shield swag strat. Maybe 2 hands on the weapon actually increases attack power, and we don't even know about it.
That'd be a nice option. If you don't have a shield equipped, you get an extra 10 attack power, say.
I was going to suggest 2, but that sounds very nice.
Yeah, 2 would be fine. There we go, a red dragon. That should be enough to take him out. Looks like he's going to fight through it, though. If he manages to kill it without using heal more, well, that's just more experience.
Yeah, and if it's not the worst place to fight people, to be honest. Red dragon is pretty common.
Ah, the Star Wyvern. Finally a good use for you.
Its taunting face just cackling at you as it puts you back to home.
So the idea here is to gold grind, and please God check the basement.
It would be a very unfortunate thing if that were limiting, but it's possible that it really hasn't left his mind, that he just hasn't bothered with it yet for some reason or another.
He's seen all the other chests now, though. It has to know where it is.
That is a good point. There is nothing left to find except for that. So I don't know where else he would look for it. And the importance of getting it now would be that Caitlin is through the swamp cave. So is is Garanham. So he could possibly swing to Garanham, get the harp, go to Caitlin, get the shield, go to the jerk cave, get the drop, and get it all kind of in a run.
Right, but this is going to take some time, and he's falling very far behind now in experience. By the time he gets all this done, Chroma's going to be at least level 16. He'll have a much better chance of winning.
Right, and this is not the fastest grind. So it's the most efficient one, but it's still not super fast just because of how few MP we have. So that experience matters.
The hand axe, of course.
Awesome. You always need to have one of those. I mean, Erdrick's sword can only do so much.
I would have tried to pick up another one there just to see what would happen. I know you can pick up multiple staffs of rain. Of course, that could also soft lock you, so be careful.
Good to know. I actually considered that the last race I did.
So I was playing around with something one day, and the staff cave happened to be behind Tantagel. So of course, had my gold grind, went back there. Oh, I can pick up multiples and fill my inventory with them. And then I couldn't pick up the token.
Yeah, that sounds bad. I'm glad that I never did that. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Do not do what CyberDark did, everybody.
It is actually a valid way, yes, of doing Curse Princess Win, as long as you save room for at least one curse belt.
Ah, because you can't get rid of them, correct?
Right, the Staff of Rain is one of those items you can't throw away. Similar to the token, Stones of Sunlight. The harp can only be taken away if you trade it in for the staff. And I don't think you can get rid of the flute either.
Unfortunately not. Sometimes the flute is just a giant albatross sitting in your item inventory, blocking you from getting some extra fairy water.
So Elmore knows exactly where the cave is, going straight for his Staff of Rain. Probably head for the Rainbow Drop next.
Yep, and he's routing it in the fastest way possible, so he's definitely feeling that sort of impetus to push. But the question will be, is he going to dive Sherlock for the armor like Chroma was?
I'm not sure. Speaking of Chroma, we have level 16, 0, 5, something, and 10. 10 MP was the main thing. Still nowhere near what we need. But just about everything else has gone green.
Yeah, right now, assuming he still doesn't have hit points for Death Necklace use, at least not safely. He might choose to do that anyway, but we're looking at still a gap of about 4 to 5 heal mores between average hit and what he needs to heal, and that's really tight. Tight as in almost impossible.
Yep, definitely don't want to go now. You had around 80 MP, maybe.
Well, he went to Garanham to get more herbs, so it might be worth, if he's not going to try to grab the armor on the way down, he might have enough to get to the armor this time, but there's still just some enemies that are real tricky, like the Axe Knight.
Yeah, being that MP is the stat you don't have a lot of, you really can't grind and level on the way down because your MP doesn't regenerate unless you die or go to an inn. If it was something like maybe you never had enough HP, you could level on the way down, hope you get the HP on the level, because then you could regen it. But without MP, you really need to grind more.
Yep, and that's directly what he does. And we see Elmore get the Silver Shield, so he is now as equipped as we can possibly be at this point.
Just needs his Rainbow Drop now, and he can go back to grinding.
Yes, hooray, you found everything. Now you gotta go visit the Armored Knight again for a little while.
Ah, used for radishes, maybe.
Well, Lord God, it looks like we still have probably about 10 minutes, unless this next level gives a bunch of MP and our runners decide to grab the armor on the way down. I'm thinking we might be in for a little bit more yet. So now that everybody is in grind and go mode, just to kind of recap what the course of this race, we had both runners kind of start off in similar fashions. Elmore took the experience lead and had the exploration lead, but Chroma came back after a bit, managed a gold grind and got everything with some good luck. And then otherwise, Elmore's just had terrible exploration luck, constantly getting stomped on by Sherlock enemies and Dragon Lord Breath over and over. That really kind of put him to where he is right now.
Yeah, the big thing slowing everyone down this seed really has been MP. You just don't have enough to go far enough, really.
Right. And then it looked like Chroma had a massive lead at one point, but then took a couple of dives in Sharlock to where the armor has to be, and both times died within sight of the basement armory down there.
Yep, once to an X-Knight with Fire Breath, and the next time to a Great Dragon.
Yes, he still has a big lead, and he is still in the pole position here. But it really just kind of depends on what sort of luck. Like right now, it looks like is Elmore. He's going to dive. So if he can get the armor out early and Chroma takes another dive, and something happens, we're pretty much evened up at that point.
Yep, it all depends on the Sharlock luck here. If Elmore can get the armor first and go back to grinding for a while, and Chroma makes a couple more dives, that can change it around. But right now, Chroma still has the lead.
And Chroma's diving now as well. It looks like he's going to try to get the level on the way down, which means this is very likely not intended to be the last level. Or excuse me, the last dive. It's really hard considering you have to blow at least one heal more just to get down one floor.
Elmore still needs a lot of experience to go up to another level. Chroma only needs a few kills. So, definitely will have to dive again, I think. But has a much better chance of actually getting the armor in this dive.
Right, and the agility boost he got in that last level, like it shows on the screen green, that gives him fairly good odds to get away from when he runs from these enemies. Now, he's definitely grinding on the way, though. In fact, I have a feeling he's expecting it to be 2 levels, the way he's fighting this stuff, that he's not worried about his resources too much.
Of course, neither runner has the armor. That's what they're looking for. So they're going to burn either a good majority of their herbs or some of their heal mores just going through this these barrier tiles.
Yeah, imagine building a castle and just putting damage tiles all over the floor. It's very rude.
Keeps the intruders out, though.
Alright, saw Elmore pull out the fairy flute, take care of the golem. He's very low on magic, though. I don't know that he has. He's going to have to get very, I don't want to keep saying very, he has to get lucky to get through this, because he has to run from just about everything.
Yeah, but he has 1 heal. That's about it. Oh, Legos make so much sense now. It's just a playroom up top.
DL Sun's Legos. I'm trying to imagine if we encounter the Dragon Lord's son at any point during the game. I can't think of that being a positive thing, unless maybe Gwaelin is actually his daughter, and that explains why she's been taken from Lorik.
So the Dragon Lord's son is in 2, I believe? Dragon Warrior 2? Grandson. Ah.
Okay, there we go. So, my lack of Dragon Warrior knowledge is catching up to me here.
We have a few runners here of 2 and 3 and even 4. In the chat, anyway.
Is Elmore going directly to the table first?
It might be a decent play if it's there.
It must not like his odds to get all the way to the basement, so he's just taking what he can get.
Oh, just the wings.
Well, that, I guess that's knowledge. That you know where it has to be now.
Still has managed to get down that far and still has his 4 MP. 2 MP.
Yeah, since he's descended into darkness, the only spells he's used is Radiant.
And he's actually currently further down than Chroma.
Yeah, he's had a very blessed walk in runs. Like, everything has went pretty well in that regard. Again, at least since he got down the first floor. Not to jinx anything, of course. So we missed it, but Chroma did gain a level, and that MP is now within range. That's something that he can do something with. And the
9
hit
heal
points,
mores, if I'm correct?
yes, 9 heal mores and enough hit points to use the Death Necklace. That is Dragon Lord 2 ready if he chooses to be.
So in this case, because of the low MP, I wouldn't use the Death Necklace, because you'd get a couple more double attacks without using it.
Yes, I think, I don't know, my strategy here, and again, I'm new to this game, but it would be to not fight early on, and then to do it when I had confidence later, instead of this, which seems like now they're both out of resources, although Elmore's been out of resources the entire time.
Pretty much step for step. Elmore's finding the Axe Knight that took out Chroma earlier. Chroma's gotten a bit further. I hope they both have keys. Chroma does, Elmore does as well. Gold in the first chest. Fairy water. Torch. Magic key. Torch. Last one searched. Erdrick's armor. Both runners now with Erdrick's armor. The ideal play here would be to cast outside. Or return. I guess maybe you could go see what the spike tile is so you know. Maybe it's an Axe Knight, it'll be a bit of an easier grind.
Yeah, at this point, I think I have to disagree with what you said before, Cyberdark. I think I would definitely equip the Death Necklace. This attack range is where it's still very useful. If they were in like the 140s, then it kind of decays in usefulness. But I think that that's probably necessary to have a good shot, especially since you're probably not getting to the Dragon Lord without using a heal more here.
True enough.
Right, Elmore takes the first quick journey out and goes directly to grind. He knows exactly what he needs to do at this point and is going about it.
And he's 2 levels lower than Chroma. Now Chroma can't win on this dive, so he does have to come out. It looks like he is going to see what the spike tile is.
Yeah,
so Elmore has some time to catch up, but not a whole lot.
Right, it would probably still require Chroma doing something like he is now, which it looks like he's still fighting enemies and thinking about getting another level.
So Chroma's about a little over 1,000 experience away. I believe it's 14,250.
I guess when you're that close, it's pretty tempting to do it, but you also got to be kind of counting the steps at this point and wondering, how much time do I got? Like, he lost 2 dives. He gained some experience, but he lost 2 dives, and that was a lot of time.
Still is managing to do a pretty good grind in here without any MP.
And heck, he can just grind on this AK, I suppose. It would be a stretch to think he would get the next level before he gets sent home, but...
Unless he did a lot of heal walking.
I think that's what's in the back of his head. He wants this level. He wants the level so he can just come right back and not do anything in between. Although he probably should try to get some herbs since the resources are still pretty tight. And that is an excellent point, Angel. Elmore has had absolutely terrible luck with enemies that he's come across during exploration, and he even stopped to grind every once in a while, and it didn't matter. He'd still get slept and DL2 breathed, or he would just run into an enemy that would just stomp him too quickly. Alright, it looks like Chroma did not get that last fight in to get his level, so he's going to try for... we'll see if he goes and grabs some herbs, or if he just goes straight there.
So Elmore walked out to Garenham. He's buying herbs while he's here, but he walked out. I think I would have taken a Death Warp there, seeing as Swamp Cave is so close to Tangential. You would have just got your instant heal, walk back, keep going, worry about the herbs later.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think Chroma was doing that in his grind too. Kept walking to Garenham instead of dying. So he was like refilling up there.
I mean, it's not that far away, but it is a few extra steps.
And I think Elmore forgot to hit the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been kind of the way this seed has went. Elmore had a lot of bad luck for a while, fighting some stuff that he just kept getting caught. Chroma's start was a little bit rough, but then he went and took a gamble on the gold for the silver shield and got it. And that's helped a lot, especially those encounters where Elmore may have died, that Chroma was able to survive with the extra 20 defense power that he's carried through most of the seed. And then just did very well with the exploration luck. Can't say enough about actually going down into Tablet Cave and getting that heart early. That probably saved a good 3 minutes just based off of routing compared to what ElmoreStJames did.
A couple of minutes for sure, but by far the big thing was not grinding for the silver shield right away. Of course, Elmore probably didn't know about it being in Garenham, but that certainly did save Chroma a lot of time.
It was actually in Cantlin, which I don't think he knew about. Like, I think he just wandered in there and got lucky.
Oh wow, level 18. 157 HP all of a sudden.
Yeah, I would say that this is good to go. It's not
definitely go time at 18. Elmore hit 16 here, still going to have a couple levels to go. But is right where he needs to be to level.
Right, based on the time, if Elmore decides to go at 17, he should be in the situation to do it before Chroma gets to the Dragon Lord, just based off of how this is going. It also depends on the run luck here.
Yeah, we definitely call the Sharlock the Great Equalizer for a reason.
That's a good point too. A Fairy Water right now would be pretty useful just because it would get rid of the wizards, the werewolves, the star wyverns, and the green dragons. And we've seen a good deal of all of those enemies down here.
Feels nice to be able to walk over those barrier tiles without having to use Sealmore.
I almost menued into the fairy flute there. That would have been one of those late game facepalm things.
Brian, technically you're not actually repelling dragons, so... Yeah, the green one, I guess.
It's a very good point mentioned in chat. The Silver Harp. Sometimes there's some Silver Harp strats. You don't see them come into play too often, but it's always fun when it does pop up. Chroma's he's gotten attacked a little bit here. He's still defense breaking some of the stuff, so they're not hitting him too hard, but it's all, you know, can I out heal by walking all the damage you're taking on the way down?
Hasn't had to burn any MP yet, so that's good.
Right. He's still gonna be pretty nervous, but the enemies in this zone were not super scary. Now that's about to change. I'm here in a little bit. Yes, here is where we meet the Axe Knights, who have the DL2 breath, and the Red Dragons and the Stonemen, who are unreasonably difficult to run away from.
Axe Knight's not really using a lot of Fire Breath. We know they have it, but they haven't been coming with it too often anyway.
Yeah, I wonder if that's like a 25... Oh, look! Thank you very much, Angel. 25% DL2 breath. That sounds just scary enough to make you wary.
Elmore's still a few kills away from level 17 yet.
It looks like he's going to have to take one more trip outside before he's ready to go. But and again, that's only if he goes at 17. 17 certainly seemed possible. I wonder if Chroma would have done that if he hadn't gained so much experience beforehand. And that is correct, Super Base. DL2 Breath and Sleep are capped at 50%. That is, I think, in the most recent full patch.
No, that's on the higher tier Sherlock enemies, I think.
That is for every enemy in the game.
Ah, okay.
I imagine it could be just as bad to have a red slime with 75%. Well, not just as bad, never mind.
At level 1 it could be.
That was a little tight there. He, I think he threw up a Hurtmore and swung when he was red, but he did manage to get through the AK. So all that's left now is our friend the Dragon Lord.
Had to burn all the herbs, but it really shouldn't be a problem.
Yes, he definitely looks like he's going to be a huge advantage here in this fight. Again, assuming he puts on the Death Necklace. Even if he doesn't, it's probably not that big of a deal.
Had a back attack, but nothing big. Gets a stop spell.
Looks like he's choosing to not equip the Death Necklace. So we're looking at 139. That gives him... yeah, he's still the favorite here, but it's not guaranteed. So it's 139. He's doing, what, 9 to 19 damage. So we're looking right around 14 as an average. I have not been counting.
I think we're at 40 right now.
He's swinging over right now, so that's definitely good news for him. And bad news for the Dragon Lord, of course.
84.
And there was our weak attack we were expecting.
I believe.
He started out really strong, and then the hits stopped happening. But he's still got about 5 attacks to go. He's still in good shape. Never mind. That was we must have missed something there. But he got through there with 3 Humors left. That was a very clean fight.
I think he did 163.
All right, and here he goes in. Elmore is about to get the news. Chroma has finished, and let's see what ends up here.
2:05:29.
Well, GG's to Chroma, winner of this first round race. It looks like Elmore is thinking about going here at 17 now. So if he does, he'll catch up a little bit, but the race is over. So at this point, he's just trying. This is for pride.
Now, Mike, no, you might be able to math. Maybe I can't math. I think he did 163.
I was distracted when the fight started, so I never counted at all. But I also didn't notice. I heard it triple, and I somehow didn't notice that. That would be crazy. Although he had the hit points for it, since he didn't use the death necklace, that definitely increased the odds of that sort of thing happening.
Looks like we have Chroma coming in for an interview shortly.
All right. And now Elmore starting his first real trip into Sherlock, the first attempt to actually take out the Dragon Lord.
And we have Chroma in the room. Chroma, need me on push to talk.
So the math difference here from where Chroma went at 18 to Elmore at 17 is, with the death necklace, he's still a favorite, but it's very tight, so it's not quite the overwhelming odds that Chroma had going in there.
Speaking of Chroma, I think we've got it figured out. GG.
Figured out is very generous. I'm not used to using push to talk, so I had to go in the settings and figure out what was going on. But there it is. Thanks for GG.
Well played.
Thanks. Man, there were definitely some spots where I wasn't sure I was approaching it the right way. I'm trying to get Erdrick's armor, maybe a couple levels too early, getting down to that treasure room twice, and dying right before it was pretty disheartening.
Yeah, we saw it, and we were pretty disappointed ourselves. We were so close each time. But you had a large experience lead, which is what kept you going.
I'm glad to hear that. One of the things I thought might have made a difference was the location of the drop cave was kind of deceptive. Like I almost turned around and went the other direction because it looked like the shape was closing off, and then there was just that little extra bit of land that took you over to where that was. So wasn't sure if that was going to come into play or not.
Another big thing I think that kept you ahead was the fact that you got the silver shield very early, which gave you a bit more defense to be able to grind a lot better.
Yeah, I was happy to be able to find a way to do the gold grinds pretty early, and I honestly did not remember what was in Rimuldar for the weapon shop. So running into flame sword, magic armor right off the bat, once I had done the gold grind, was kind of more than I was hoping for to get out of that, and it made it a little easier to to feel a little more confident about finding a place where I could get Silver Shield.
Yeah, and actually on the way to get that Silver Shield, had to run from that red dragon. Pretty lucky there.
Yeah, I feel like there were a few times where I made a decision to run where the risk of not being successful on the run was pretty significant. And I know on a few of those it didn't go my way, but on that last Sharlock dive, I had one like that, and yeah, when I had the gold to go and get the silver shield, very similar thing.
Yeah, that was another difference too. Elmore had some pretty poor luck in running. Twice had to dive the mountain cave, if not 3 times, to get everything that was in there.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. But I guess better there than Sharlock.
True enough. So Elmore now is just hitting the Dragon Lord for the first time, is level 17 instead of 18, and has equipped the Death Necklace.
Yes. Also, GG Chroma. Good luck, or thank you for the race. It was very well done. Especially, I thought in the middle you did an excellent job with the decisions to grind there when you did. I think that helped you get past a lot of enemies that kind of tripped up Elmore for a while.
Yeah, I felt like this one was pretty hard to read, honestly, for when would be a good time to grind and to not, and then which enemies were going to be ideal. There was one section where I really wanted to be grinding wolves, but they just they showed up so rarely in that enemy set that made it pretty tricky. And then there were those enemies in the first area with the DL2 breath that pretty disheartening early on. Anyway. Yeah,
I want to focus on what Elmore is doing right now since he's fighting the Dragon Lord. He had a double right off the bat, which was great. And it looks like he's definitely a strong favorite at this point. He's had some really good rolls going through.
Nice. I'm going to go ahead and back out. Thanks for the commentary, guys. Got to get ready for a Z2R race coming up. So, thank you.
All right, thanks for the race, and GG again.
Yeah, good luck in your race.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, and it definitely looks like, again, Elmore is just rolling. There's another 22. He's fully in charge of this and might be able to get through this with a few Healmores left over the way it's looking.
Certainly does look that way. Got 2 Healmores left. And wins.
GG. Sometimes the hardest thing to do is to figure out where that return spell is after you win.
Yeah. So it looks like Elmore has finished in second place with a time of 2:13:01.
Yes, excellent race. Definitely had some bad luck in the middle there, but came back very strong. And once he knew where the last stuff was, really just kind of plowed forward till the end. Played everything really well, I think, down the end. The only possibility would have been maybe getting the armor late, but the magic was never really there to be comfortable with that, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So we're waiting on word now if Elmore's going to come in for an interview. While we're waiting, we'll say again, we've got 3 more races tonight. We've got one at 8 p.m. Eastern on this channel. We've got another one at 10 p.m. Eastern on Randomizer 2, unless the 8 p.m. finishes earlier, when it will be on here. And we've got a 10:45 on RPG Limit Break.
Remind me, who's racing on the 8 o'clock one?
Yakko Wacko and some other guy.
Well, it sounds like something I'd want to see. And I believe ElmoreStJames is in with us. Say hello if you can hear me.
Hello, if I can hear you.
Thank you. GG's on the race. What was kind of going through your mind there in the middle of the game when it seemed like every enemy, every time you went anywhere from Tantagel, was just trying to burn you to death?
Yeah, I think Elfgar is having a shortage on Listerine right now because there's definitely some bad breath out there.
Nice. Well, I think early you had an early lead with the experience with the wolves. That seemed like a very solid grind early, and then it was kind of a split, which just happened to be where you got the gold grind and took care of the stuff that was in Rimeldar. And I think Chromataclysm wound up grabbing some extra money and then found Cantlin with the money and managed to get the Silver Shield very early in the race.
Yeah, there's definitely some double, triple, quadruple, quintuple, whatever the next thing is for exploration in my regard. I got sniped both in the southwest corner a couple of times, by Charlock a couple of times, on the second continent, just walking out of the swamp cave and 3 steps later get sniped by a red dragon. And I don't know, is it just me, or did my encounter luck, that is the number of encounters I had by Cantlin, did it seem incredibly high to anyone?
I mean, I definitely remember seeing a couple of werewolves have it out for you right over there.
Yeah, definitely the werewolves were a nightmare, and then getting to Cantlin the first time, I just seem to remember every other step seemed to be an encounter. And then I think the double missed swing on the werewolf, I think is, yeah, that, and there was a star wyvern encounter that went south, and I wasn't having fun, so I collected my thoughts and I went back and it ended up finishing it. But that was definitely a fun one. Sarcastic voice, fun one.
Yeah, we definitely kind of saw that too on that Star Wyvern fight. We thought, yeah, he needs to take a breath because this is getting kind of ridiculous, kind of out of hand. How bad it was that things just kept stomping on you whenever you tried to get anywhere.
Yeah, but GG Chromataclysm, great race. I was actually about to go for 18, then I saw him finish, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And it was solid once I thought it over again for 17. But yeah, did you end up going down to 17?
Chroma's actually left the chat. He had to prepare. He has a Z2R race tonight, so he had to ditch early. But he went at 18. He actually was grinding for as he was going down and got the armor seconds before you did.
Okay. Did he find another good place to grind, or was the Armor Knight still just where it was at?
That was the best grind. He fought a lot of enemies as he was walking around, as I think you did as well. But when he sat down to grind, it was pretty much just all right there in the swamp cave.
Cool.
All right. Do you have any last thoughts about the race, or about? I would say that I think once you found the grave and got the token, like everything you did there was pretty much straight on, like laser focused. But
yeah, I think if I didn't have to retrace my steps multiple times to get to the grave, to get to Cole/Hawksness, even though there was nothing there, it just seems like even though I should have had sufficient hit points and other stats for exploration, maybe I should have stayed in and ground out another couple levels.
yeah, there was some sentiment in chat about that as well, and I think that's always the difficulty. Is like, do I try for the armor, or do I just keep grinding levels? Do I try to do this, or I just keep grinding levels? And it's not always a clear answer to that one. But
yeah, I will say that at least Charlock was actually quite, I don't want to say easy, but straightforward. There was a lack of armored knights and red dragons in Charlock that I was worried about. So overall, the back 20 minutes of the siege was fine. But yeah, don't play this seed.
yes, I concur with that. This one can go away. It served its purpose.
Angel, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you what not to do. There's a difference.
I feel like these sorts of things just encourage people, but he knows how to do the seed. He saw it. He's tracking. So if he went to play it, he beat it in under an hour maybe, and act like that was impressive.
Absolutely. I look forward to having much less of a chance of facing him in the next round now.
All right. Well, he's not won his match yet, but yes. Anyway, again, thank you for the race. GG. You did get the finish, and that's always good to see. And good luck going forward into the next round.
All right. And thank you, Gambit017 for the restream. Thank you, Angel FM, for tracking. Cyberdark and Aaron 2U2, much appreciated. I didn't hear much of the commentary until the very end after I won, but I imagine everyone else appreciated it. And I will see you all back here at 8 p.m. on Randomania.
As will I. In this case, or in the next race, Elmore will be commentating my race, actually. And thank you very much for that, Elmore.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, everybody who was here. Again, the exact same thing that Elmore said. Thank you, Gambit, for the restream, Angel for the tracking, and Cyberdark for keeping me on track. This being my first Dragon Warrior commentating gig. So thank you guys everywhere. I'll let Cyberdark, I'll let you carry it from here.
All right. Thank you guys very much for watching. Thank everyone, or the crew, for going through all this with us. We'll have another race on this channel in about 40 minutes' time. But for now, we're going to raid MK Punisher Edge Telvron, another one of our runners. So we'll see you guys 40 minutes' time.